Good day and welcome to Mptv's Weekend News Roundup. I am Lukman at Daylaking. On the Weekend News Roundup, we'll bring you interesting stories, amazing headlines, and the news you can trust. Let's begin with the headlines, where President Tinubu says every Nigerian will feel the impact of its reforms. Wike says PDP faces uphill task in 2027 presidential race. Reps seek tough sanctions against South Africa over xenophobic attacks. Okada rider allegedly abducts 3-year-old in Delta. Cardi B, Maduka Okoye draw attention at Paris Fashion Week. Now, the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that the benefits of his administration's economic reforms will be felt across the country, saying the policies are beginning to lay the foundation for sustainable growth and national prosperity. Speaking during a meeting with stakeholders in Abuja, the President said the reforms were difficult but necessary to stabilize the economy, improve public finances, and create opportunities for businesses and citizens. Tinubu urged Nigerians to remain patient and continue supporting his administration, expressing confidence that ongoing investments in infrastructure, job creation, and social programs will translate into improved living conditions for households nationwide. The President reaffirmed his commitment to implementing policies aimed at delivering long-term economic stability and ensuring that the dividends of renewed hope agenda reaches every Nigerian. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says it will be difficult for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to win the 2027 presidential elections unless it resolves its internal crisis and rebuilds its party structure. Speaking during a media interaction in Abuja, Wike said the party's lingering leadership disputes and internal divisions have weakened its chances of mounting a successful challenge in the next general election. The former Rivers State Governor urged PDP leaders and members to focus on reconciliation and strengthening the party's internal mechanisms rather than engaging in prolonged conflicts. Wike maintained that only a united and well-organized opposition can effectively compete for the presidency in 2027, stressing that the PDP must first put its house in order before seeking the support of Nigerians. The House of Representatives has called on the federal government to impose tougher diplomatic measures against South Africa following renewed xenophobic attacks and the alleged persecution of Nigerians and other African nations living in the country. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance, with lawmakers expressing concern over the reported killings, attacks on businesses, unlawful arrests, and displacements of Nigerians, despite years of diplomatic engagement between both countries. The House urged the federal government to summon the South African High Commissioner to explain the recent incidents and engage the African Union, the Southern African Development Commission, and the United Nations to ensure the protection of Nigerians and other African migrants. Lawmakers also called for a review of Nigeria's bilateral relations with South Africa and the strengthening of consular services, legal assistance, and emergency evacuation arrangements for Nigerians affected by the efforts. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says 2,339,233 registered voters are eligible to participate in the Osun State governorship election scheduled for August 15, 2026. The resident electoral commissioner in Osun State, Mutiu Agbegoke, disclosed this during a stakeholders meeting in Osogbo, where he said the commission had concluded preparations to conduct a free, fair, and credible election. INEC also announced that more than 500,000 permanent voters' cards remain uncollected, urging eligible voters to pick up their PVCs before the deadline to enable them to participate in the election. The commissioner assured political parties, observers, and the electorate of a transparent electoral process, while calling on all stakeholders to ensure that a peaceful and violence-free governorship poll takes place. This is what we call it a wrap on the Weekend News Roundup on Mptv News. My name remains Lukman at Daylaking. Be well to remain good citizens of Nigeria. Stay loyal to the nation's drive for growth and sustainable development, and be good citizens across the day. I wish you the best of the weekend. Until I see you next time, bye for now.